I do not understand how Hollywood keeps messing this up. I just don't understand. Let's go back to 1993. Steven Spielberg hands Hollywood an infinite money glitch with Jurassic Park. Because you know what's cool? Dinosaurs are. And while I don't think any rational person actually expects a new Jurassic Park / World movie to live up to the first one, all it needs to be is pretty good. And I know what some people are already going to come out saying, like, oh my gosh, here it comes, some pretentious film bros going to start talking about Jurassic World. No. N-O, no. That's not me. Run the tape. And I'm going to surprise you here. I'm smashing this one 7 out of 10. I'm excited for this one. We are due for another good Jurassic World Park movie. We're due for it. I think this is going to be it. I'm excited. You're talking to a guy that actually kinda liked the first Jurassic World with Chris Pratt. I remember being excited about it. The theater experience was amazing. People cheered, people clapped, and while I don't think it's incredible, I thought it was a very, very fun time at the movies. That's my bar. And I just don't know why this franchise is so either downright awful or just mid. And people keep clamoring for these as well. And you know what? I'm a part of it. Here I am, raising my hand. And you know how I know that? Because Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World Dominion, two cheeks of a butt, both made over $1 billion respectively. They are absolutely just awful movies. So they announced they're kind of doing a semi-reboot, refresh of the Jurassic World franchise. Okay, cool. You get a new cast, you get a new director, and I'm like, you know what? I'm on board with this. Gareth Edwards is a director that I kind of believe in. Not perfect by any means, but he knows how to use visual effects, he knows scale, he knows budgets, he knows how to make a visually interesting looking movie. Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, two-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali is in this movie. And they really sped up the process on this movie. Maybe that has to do with it, but I was like, you know what? Maybe that's just a sign of confidence. Maybe that's just how Gareth Edwards works. I don't know. And I saw the movie. And this is a clear-cut example of a movie that just gets worse as time goes on. Immediately after the theater, I was like, okay, it was all right, I guess. I'm being very nice when I say that, but, you know, it has its moments. But unfortunately, the moments are surrounded by just mid. I do not think this movie is some awful train wreck, even though the tone of my voice makes it sound like it is. But I am just mad because how are we doing this? What's happening in the process of making these movies? Because surrounding some of the good sequences like the T-Rex water raft sequence or the Mosasaur sequence, it's just surrounded by just bloated, uninteresting characters and stories, and quite frankly, it's just kind of boring. Someone explain this to me. That's not even a rhetorical question. I need this explained to me right now. Why was the dialogue so bad, people? Why? The dialogue is so stiff, and because of that, a lot of the performances are stiff. And I'm like, why? What is happening? The opportunity to build characters in this movie is just laughable. There's a scene where everyone's laughing like, oh, haha, we're so crazy, we're so dangerous, we're going off here. And then it just immediately turns to, yeah, so, you know, how's your son that died? How are you coping with that? As this random piano score starts settling in, just a very melodramatic score. And I'm like, what just happened? I cannot take credit for this, and I don't remember who said it. I apologize, but I think I saw a tweet that said the acting / dialogue in this movie is the stuff that you would find at amusement parks. And that is so apt. I cannot believe this movie is making me appreciate the first Jurassic World movie way more, because I felt like the first Jurassic World did a much better job at kind of connecting and referencing to Jurassic Park, while also still managing to at least have some identity of its own. This one, I felt, really struggled with that. I mean, my gosh, I cannot believe how many times it would just go back to the first Jurassic Park. How many times are you going to play the score from Jurassic Park? Yes, it's amazing. Of course it is. But after you play it 10 times, the audience starts thinking, hey, why am I even watching this? I can just go back and watch Jurassic Park. The scenes that I even kind of appreciate in Jurassic World Rebirth, where they're really trying to show the magic of dinosaurs, the majesty, the sheer awe of dinosaurs. On its own, I kind of like that scene, but when it's thrust in with so many callbacks and the score from the first Jurassic Park, it's like it is not hitting. It's not hitting. And as people know, I can have a lot of fun with a bad movie. I really can. But this is one of those movies that isn't bad per se. It's more so frustrating, which is just worse. Because for every scene that Gareth Edwards does where he really tries to show the audience the sheer scale of these freak dinosaurs, most of the time it works. The mosasaur water chase scene, I was like, that's a big dude right there. The weird freak xenomorph of an alien slash dinosaur. First of all, I don't know about you, I actually kind of like the design. It's just freaky. It looks like an actual messed up accident there. I'm like, oh my god, that is absolutely terrifying. And Gareth Edwards does know how to shoot that. Without spoiling anything, there's a scene where someone shoots a flare and the smoke comes down, and as the red flare comes down, you see the silhouette of that freak dinosaur. And I'm like, that is such a beautiful image that I'm seeing right now on the screen, which just makes everything outside of those moments just feel worse. The movie does not have a good flow. The thrills do not kind of continue on and carry the audience through like a river current. And I usually don't talk about this in movies because I personally don't really mind this, but for some reason I really felt it in this one. This movie is so episodic. I can genuinely visualize where to break up the movie and end it with episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and so on. And that does not surprise me because also from what I've seen, considering this movie honestly isn't that long, I've seen people complain about the pacing, and I have that same complaint. What are we doing? How are people complaining about pacing in a dinosaur Jurassic World movie? You see what I'm saying? Like, this should be a sin of the blockbusters, okay? These blockbusters, whether you think they're high art or entertainment rides, whatever, they should never, ever be boring. No one should walk out of this movie being like, man, there's a lot of boring moments. Again, I know some people are going to watch this and they're just going to love it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. And as I said, when I left the theater, I was like, you know what? That was okay. But people, I really think that the longer you think about this movie, time is not on this movie's side at all. It is the kind of movie where you're holding it in your hands and it just starts to melt and you can't do anything about it. And I don't even know what the answer is on these movies. I'm sure this movie will still make hundreds of millions of dollars even if it doesn't reach $1 billion. I'm doing this for us. As a society, we deserve a absolute guaranteed banger of a dinosaur movie. We deserve this, don't we? How far we have fallen from Jurassic Park down to Jurassic World Dominion, where they focused on bugs, to now Jurassic World Rebirth, where I'm just simply confused. But hey, maybe I'm just hating. Maybe I'm just a big old hater who doesn't like this franchise, even though that's honestly not true at all. But hey, it's fine. It's certainly not the worst movie of the year. And if I'm being frank, I think most people like it. But I mean, gosh, we really deserve better. Jurassic World Rebirth, 2.5 stars. Let me know what you all think of the movie and if I'm just hating or not. Please subscribe. Thanks. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.